Hello. As a programmer, the second most important thing next to the programming language you're using is the environment you are programming in. By environment, I mean the list of utilities that your environment provides, so that you can use those to basically glue different programs, different command lines that are provided or written by other people, or you download them from the internet or GitHub, and then you can combine them to achieve your goals. Let's give you an example. If you probably know I'm a Mac user, and as a Mac user, uh, people normally use a package manager called Brew to install different software. Um, and if I say Brew list, it shows me all this little softwares and libraries I used Brew to install on my laptop. As you can see, this list is quite sizable. And then brew also has another subcommand that shows me, for example, if I say TIG, it gives me some little explanation that has different sections about the program TIG. The first line of this brew info is always the version, and then the second line is a little description. So what I'm saying about the rest of this screencast. In this particular case, it only applies to Mac, the brew part. But the kind of things, the command lines I'm using, they're all available in Linux and nowadays on Windows as well. So although the example is a bit Mac oriented, but it doesn't have to be, and you can use all the commands in all the other operating systems as well. So the problem I had a few weeks ago was I knew I had installed the software that manages the disk usage, but I couldn't remember what it was. As you can see with these two commands, it's really hard to do that. So I thought if I create a table that consists of a program name and then maybe some spaces and then the little description that I have here, then I have a little table, then it's very easy to quickly find out what kind of programs I have. Okay, so now using these two brew list and brew info, we try to make a table like that. Okay, so from brew info, what I'm interested in is the second line. So if I say brew info tick, and then pipe it to, let's say, head -2, which means that give me the first two lines. From the whole file, it only gives me the first two lines. And if I say tail -1, means like from this first two lines gives me the last one, which gives me only the line number 2. But if you're a bit more advanced, you know that there is a better program for this purpose called set. You can say set -p -n and then to print line number 2, and then it also shows me line number 2, and it probably is also a little bit faster than the other one, the other approach. Set is a very complicated command line utility, command line editor utility. I can put a YouTube series in the description that is really a good explanation of set. But most of the time, you don't need that kind of advanced utility from set. I most of the time use it only for replacement of text in multiple files. But in this particular case, it is very very handy to get the nth line of a file. Okay, now we know how to get the description, and also we know how to get a list of the programs using brew list. So the only thing we need to do is just go over this list and then apply brew info pipe with a set to it. One little thing that, as you can see, there are a bunch of libraries that are also installed using brew. I'm not interested in those. I'm only interested in the programs that are actually doing something. I can use them command line. So I'm gonna remove the ones that start with lib. So what I can do is say brew list pipe to grep, and then normally grep finds the string that you give it to, but in this particular case we want the strings that do not match lib. So if I run it to this, it will show me all of them. Then if I type it to columns so that we can see everything on the same page, you see all those lib ones are removed. Okay, now the only thing we need to do is loop over this list. What we can do is using a while loop and a read command to read them one by one to a variable called br, for example, from brew, and then we go over them and then we apply the command that we made together a few moments ago, that we have to do set -n and 2p. If I can type it, then let's run this. Okay, so basically this should go over all the lists and then print the descriptions for me. Okay, that sounds like it works. But we also needed the name of the program itself. So after this do, we can actually have a list of different programs. So what I can do, I can say echo -n because I don't want it to go to the next line. The name of the program is in the variable br already, and then let's wrap it with quotes and then run this again to see if it does what we wanted. It doesn't. Where did I go wrong? So let's first do this. Oh yeah, I forgot the semicolon. Okay, so this does the list, but this table does not look very nice. So there is a nice command line utility that doesn't come automatically with standard environments. You have to install it. It's a Python package, so you have to install it using pip. I put the description in the description how you can install this little utility. So if I create apple, okay, let's call it fruit, fruits.csv, and say apple, comma, orange, banana, carrot. If carrot is a fruit, I don't know. So if I say carrot, if I say cat fruit.csv and I pipe it to this utility is called csvlook, it will create a nice table for me that it's much easier to basically read. And then there's a flag called -H that tells, okay, I don't have headers, please give some arbitrary ABCD headers for it that we need later. Okay, so we're almost done, except that we need to pipe this to csvlook. But okay, we want to save them in a file, but also at the same time we want, before saving to the file, we want csvlook to be applied to it. Let me clear the screen so that it can be seen better. At the same time, we want to also see the results as they are going, because it can take a long time. So for that purpose, we need to use a utility called t. What t does is basically grab things, put them in standard output as you can see them. At the same time, it passes on to the next process or file. And then this little syntax means like, okay, treat this as a file, the next commands. So I can say csvlook and then pipe it to, let's say, my brew list dot txt. Okay, so if I run this, oh, okay, csvlook. Okay, looks like I had it before, so let's call it brew list. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video because, as you probably seen, it was a very long list, so it's gonna take a while before it finishes. and I come back as soon as it finishes and we go over the results together. Okay, it just finished. Now let's take a look at the results. See, it created a nice list, and then I forgot to put the double edge thingy, but that's not a problem. So we say this is a name. Let's delete all that. Description, and then some bunch of space. Okay, this is a nice little table, and the nicer thing about it is that it is also a format of markdown. So if we rename it and we try to open it and open my markdown viewer, and you can see it's a very nice table that has the name of the programs together with the description. And if I search disk usage, then I find out the program was called NCTU. Okay, so that was all I had for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.